Hey folks, Colin here from Spare and Outdoors, and as you can see I am in the forest and it's quite early in the morning, and today's video is going to show you my favourite type of pot stand or pot hanger. Now it's a very simple one. It's a leverage pot hanger or pot stand, and it works just as well as some of the more elaborate types of pot stands. Now you can get different types of pot hangers or pot stands where you use the knot system, where you make a series of hooks or you use a tripod. There's piles of different types of pot stands. This one, as I said, is a leverage one. It's very simple, but it's very effective when you have limited time in forest and you need a pot stand really quick, or if you're just being completely lazy. But we'll do that there, and we'll get a bit of breakfast on to use the pot stand to show you how it works and why I like this one over a lot of the more elaborate ones. But in saying that, I do like more elaborate ones just as well, but these take a wee bit more time to do. So if it's all about speed, this is the one you go for. So let's go find a location, light a fire, and get the pot stand on, because it's raining and I want to get it done now. So see you later. Hey folks, so we've got a good location. As you can see, there's lots of dead wood and deadfall and everything around here. It is raining, so I just stuck up myself a wee quick and handy lean-to. So what I need now for the pot stand is I need to make a fire first. So you make a fire, and then once you got the fire, then you can make a pot stand to suit the fire, rather than trying to make a fire to suit the pot stand. So we'll get a fire, we'll just do it here somewhere, nice in that wee hollow there, and we'll get the pot stand and we'll show you what is my favourite pot stand. You want to try and split the timber, because it is really wet here and it has been raining for a few days. You want to split it to get into the dry. To get into the dry centre, because then it's easier to light. So I'll go cut more of these and split more of these for the fire. For this pot stand, you want to find yourself a reasonably straight but strong stick, strong enough just to hold whatever you're going to hang on it. And what you want to do to make it a wee bit easier, I've already got pre-done it here, is just point the end of it. Like so. So it's easier to stick in the ground, and I'll show you what that's for, why you need to stick it in the ground. Another thing that you want to do on the pot stand is you want to cut 3 or 4 different notches along the end of the stick, and this will do for your settings, for your pots. So I'll do that now. You can either do it with your knife, and just cut the notches out, or you can do it with a saw. It's only enough to hold the handle of your pot. Now just need wee notches, you need deeper than that. So I'll go along here and I'll keep cutting out notches. Then once I'm finished, I'll put you back on the camera. So I'll cut 3 or 4 out here from a setting strip. Wee notches like that, maybe a wee bit deeper. You can see that, a wee bit deeper. I'll cut 3 or 4 along this and you'll see what's finished product. So that's it there. As you can see, I've cut 3 notches. You can put as many notches in as you want, but 3 is generally all you'll ever need. You very rarely move it from one to the other, but it's better to have 3 there just in case you want to adjust your settings. But 3 notches is enough. You put 4 or 5 on it if you want, but I reckon 3 is enough. I never go beyond 3, and I very rarely use any of the other 2. Usually get one and I usually stick with it. But that's it. And make sure you straight stick, 3 or 4 notches in the end of it, and a point. We'll go to the next part. So this is your pot stand. You have your 3 notches, which is here, it goes over the fire, and then your point, which is the other end, it'll dig into the ground, giving yourself like an anchor. And then what you want to do is find yourself another timber or a big rock or something to use as a pivot point for the lever to go up and down. So if I want to put that pot down, I move the pivot point forward, drop it down, and you see the kettle go closer to the fire. I want to lift it away, you lift it up, push that in, and that's your settings for up or down. But sometimes if it's a big fire, this is where the 3 settings come in handy, because generally you always want the pot over the centre of the fire. So sometimes if I move that away, the thing's going to go down, so that means the centre of the pot's going to go away from the fire. So that means you can move it back onto the next setting to get the centre of the fire. So that's where it's handy to have the 2 or 3 notches, so you're always near the centre of the fire. Because if you only have one notch, if you lift it up or down, it's going to take it from the centre of the fire back and forward from the centre of the fire. So it's always nice to have a couple of notches to adjust with the up and down of the lever stand. That's pretty much it. Again, the lever stand, you don't have to dig it into the ground. You can also use a rock to go on the end of it so it doesn't pop out of the ground. But I prefer just to stick it into the ground with a point. It's not going to go anywhere and you have to find another rock, because sometimes it'll be hard enough to find a good pivot point here. And that's pretty much it. That's my favourite pot stand. It's very simple to do. It takes about 5 minutes to find a stick and get it ready, and that's pretty much a good pot stand without making a really big elaborate pot stand. That's why I quite like this simple leverage one. The only drawback about the leverage one is you've lost this side of the fire. With a lot of pot stands you can put it round over the fire and it's a bit tidier and you can get round the fire a bit easier. But that's the only difference about this here. You lose this part of the fire here because you don't want to be walking over it or tripping over it. That's the only drawback to this. But if there's only 1 or 2 people out in the fire, this is perfect. And I hope you liked it. So I'm going to cook some breakfast now and just chill out. So hopefully using this leverage pot stand, you maybe use it in the future. Thanks for watching. So as you can see, I'm boiling eggs in the water of my kettle, which is great because I'll boil the eggs. Once the eggs are boiled, my water will be ready for a cup of coffee, and I've boiled eggs, and I'll do a wee bit of bacon and a bit of soda bread, a good Irish breakfast, because it is only 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning here. So that's a good way of conserving your water. Just boil your eggs in the water and then use your water for your coffee. And so here's the fire. I didn't really show the fire lighting because I've done fire lighting in many different videos. So it is a natural surround, as you can see there. It's just a hole and it's contained, so it didn't need to do a surround. So it's quite safe. As you can see, it's steaming down here. So I'll just get the bacon on. I get it all ready, I'll eat it, then we'll head home, because the main video was about this simple pot stand, which is my favourite pot stand, and I hope it was helpful for you. And that should be the least talking I'll do the rest of the video. Might probably gab on a bit, but anyway, that's just showing you how to conserve your water. So just doing the bacon over the fire, as you can see there. So get a wee stick and put it over the fire. Clean the centre, as you see there. Just clean the centre of the stick so it's nice and clean, so you can put your bacon on. And another tip, see when you're cooking on a fire, try not to cook on flame, because if you cook on flame, you're going to burn your food. Just try and cook on red hot embers. I'm just waiting for the red hot embers to come. There's a wee bit of a flame there, so I need to watch my bacon. But try not to cook over a red hot flame, because you'll just burn your food. Only cook over embers. So breakfast nearly ready. The bacon's done, the soda's buttered. I just need to get the eggs in the water. But here's what I do for coffee. I need to wash my hands too, it's really wet. But this here is just a coffee filter paper with ground coffee in it. And you let just pour the hot water on it, and you have proper ground coffee in the forest. So that's really it. This is just a nice strong coffee there, when I put it on and let it steep for a wee while, and then pull it out and have a nice coffee. So let's get the eggs and coffee out of the water. You don't want the coffee overshooting the filter paper, and then you have coffee ground everywhere. There we have it, our bacon and egg soda bap, and I'm going to get tucked into now. Yummy yum. That's it, folks. I have my bap and my coffee, so I'm just going to eat this and finish up the video. I have one more scene showing at the end. But the most important thing after I eat this is, I'm adamant about this in every video. Alright, the main thing about this video was showing you that leverage pot stand, how simple it was and how good it is, and how quick it can be done. But at the end of every video, especially out in the forest, I am very much into leave no trace. I don't like to leave anything around. I'll cover my fire, I'll put the fire, cover my fire, take any trace of me away. There'll be a few footprints here and there, but other than that, it'll be hard for anybody to spot I was actually in here apart from footprints. So it is very important to stick by the leave no trace principle and take your rubbish with you and clear the site as best you can. There will be some sort of footprint that you'll leave behind, which is usually footprints, believe it or not, and some chippings and things like that, but that'll do no harm. But make sure you take away your rubbish and try and leave it as natural looking as you got it. And thanks for watching, guys. I'll show you the clean up at the end, and hopefully the pot stand will come in handy for you and you can use it and enjoy it, how quickly it is done and how practical it actually is. Now you can do a lot of, as I said, there's a lot of different types of pot stands. You can do the hanger system, you can do tripod systems, you can do different types of systems, but they take a lot longer than this one. So for speed and handiness, this is the one you want to go for. It's my favourite. Thanks for watching, guys. That's us, folks. That's where the tarp was there, and the fire was just in front of it down in there. And as you can see, everything is cleaned up, only wood chippings and footprints. As you can see, there's everything in the backpack. And I said, leave no trace, very important. Take everything away and just leave footprints if you can. There always will be an impact, especially with bushcraft when you're out in the outdoors. But clear it up as best as you can and go on for that. And as you can see, it's absolutely teeming down here. And it is really wet underfoot, and there's lots of footprints and lots of muck and everything, and there's nothing I can do about that. I'm sort of, if I'm going outdoors, I'm going outdoors. I'm not a fair weather outdoor guy. I will only go out when the weather's good and do bushcraft videos or do hiking. If I plan to go out, hail, rain or shine, I'll go out. It's all about being prepared and looking after yourself and looking after what's around you as well. So leave no trace. It's very important. And all my videos always mention it when I'm outdoors, and I'll just keep beating it into people. Check out Leave No Trace. I'll leave a link to Leave No Trace so you can check out the 7 principles yourself. Thanks, guys. Cheers for watching.